My rich ex-wife didn't believe my success until I invited her to my office. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My rich ex-wife laughed at my tiny job until she saw my name on the office door. That's the sentence looping in my head as Vanessa stands frozen in my glass-walled conference room, staring at the logo, Harborline Systems, Brian Cole, founder. Behind her, downtown traffic glitters through the 15th floor windows. Behind me, my team pretends not to stare as they shuffle past with laptops and coffee, trying to act normal while my past judges my present in designer heels. I thought you said you worked remotely, she says slowly, like the word tastes cheap. I do. I answer, leaning on the table. And here, and sometimes on planes. Software consulting doesn't exactly fit in one box. She laughs, but it's tight. So this is yours? Her eyes dart to the plaques on the wall, the framed photo of our product launch, the client logos on the digital display. If this goes wrong, if I lose my cool, say something petty, let her drag me back into the old dynamic. I could blow years of work and a hard-won reputation. Mia had warned me an hour ago in my office, voice low. You sure you want her here, Brian? She is a walking trigger with a blowout. I'd shrugged like it was no big deal, even as my stomach flipped. But now that Vanessa is here, perfume heavy, hair perfect, pupils a little too wide, I can feel the past climbing out of the grave between us. Why do you invite me, really? She asks, one manicured hand resting on the back of a leather chair. Trying to prove something? I smile slow. Maybe, I admit. Maybe I finally wanted you to see me clearly. What I don't tell her is that by the end of this day, one of us is going to walk out of this office humiliated in front of an audience. And for the first time since we divorced, I'm not sure it'll be me. We didn't start out like this, obviously. When I met Vanessa, I was a broke computer science major delivering pizzas at night, and she was the girl in the corner booth who ordered pepperoni but barely touched it. Her friends left in a cloud of laughter and perfume, and she stayed behind, scrolling her phone, complaining to someone about a canceled driver. Bus stops 2 blocks down, I said, trying to be helpful. She looked at me like I'd suggested hitchhiking with a stranger. I don't do buses, she said, then caught herself, softened. Sorry, that sounded awful. I'm just paranoid. We talked until my shift ended. She told me about her family's money, old-school country club stuff. I told her about my mom cleaning houses, my dad leaving when I was 10, and teaching myself to code on a dying desktop rescued from a neighbor's trash. She called it kind of adorable, the way I was hustling. Back then, adorable sounded like a compliment, not a warning. The contempt came later, like slow rust. Little jokes about my charity shoes. Comments about my car wheezing into the driveway. Then, after we got married and I took a junior dev job, the digs about my salary started. You know my dad's barber makes more than that, right? She'd say, sipping wine in our upgraded condo. The final cut was after the divorce, when she posted a boomerang from a rooftop party with Tyler, captioned, "Upgrade season. Never settle for potential when you can have results." That was a month ago, and yes, I saw it at 2 in the morning and almost threw my phone. I didn't know then that upgrade season for her was about to turn into survival mode. And I had no idea I'd be the one holding the scoreboard. For a while after the divorce, I did what everyone said. Go no contact, focus on yourself, block her. I lasted 3 months. Then one night I saw her tagged at a charity gala, glittering in silver next to Tyler, the kind of guy whose watch could cover my rent for a year. We live in the same city, so avoiding her is like trying to avoid billboards. She's everywhere, on friends' stories, in tagged photos at new restaurants, on the arm of people who use summer as a verb. I told myself it didn't matter anymore. That was her world. Mine was Jira boards and late-night deploys. But cracks show if you pay attention. One afternoon, I'm grabbing coffee near my early co-working space, a cramped second floor above a laundromat, when I hear her voice outside. I glance through the window and see Vanessa on the sidewalk, phone pressed to her ear, face tight. "No, that wasn't the agreement," she hisses. "You said the money would land by Friday, Tyler." She paces, heels clicking. "I put my name on that lease because you said we'd be fine. I am not going back to my mother's house. Do you hear me?" The Vanessa I knew didn't raise her voice. She didn't panic. She floated above problems until someone else solved them. Watching her now feels like watching a crack run through glass. Our eyes meet through the window. Her expression snaps back into performance mode in a breath. She waves, overdone smile in place, and ends the call like she's just wrapped a podcast ad. "Brian," she says when she steps inside. "Wow, this is cozy." I tell myself the tension I saw was nothing, just a bad call. But later that night, the rumor I hear about Tyler's business makes that lie harder to swallow. The rumor comes from a place I never expected, a networking mixer run by my building's landlord, Mr. Harris. Back then, my office is just 2 desks in a shared space he owns downtown. He likes me because I pay on time and fix his printer for free. We're standing by the lukewarm cheese platter when he nods toward the bar. "You know that guy?" he asks. Tyler's there in a tailored suit, holding court, Vanessa at his side like an accessory someone forgot to dust. People laugh too hard at his stories. I recognize him from Vanessa's posts. In person, he looks sharper, but also wired. "He's got big ideas," Mr. Harris says. "Bigger debt." He lowers his voice. "He tried to lease the 12th floor last month. Bank pulled back. Something off about his numbers." Before I can process that, Vanessa spots me. Her face lights up in a way that makes my pulse jerk, some part of me still stupid enough to respond. "Brian." She sweeps over, Tyler in tow. "Everyone, this is my ex-husband. He does IT stuff. Software consulting," I correct. She laughs, touching Tyler's arm. Right. He works from coffee shops and, like, the cloud. Isn't that cute?" The group chuckles. Heat hits my ears. I mutter something about needing a drink and retreat, hard hammering. Her words lodge in my chest like shrapnel. Coffee shops and the cloud. 2 hours later, alone in my tiny apartment, my laptop pings. Subject: Proposal accepted, Harborline Systems. From Mr. Harris. He's forwarding a signed contract for a project I pitched months ago, worth more than I made in the first 2 years of our marriage combined. As I stare at the number, the sound of her laughter from that mixer rewinds in my head. And for the first time, it doesn't sound powerful. It sounds terrified of becoming irrelevant. That contract with Mr. Harris is the first domino. Suddenly, Harborline Systems isn't just me and my laptop. It's me, 2 part-time devs, and Mia, my accidental co-founder. Mia starts as a contractor I find in a freelancer group. She's sharp, dry, and the only person who'll tell me when my ideas are stupid. Within 6 months, she's in the office more than I am, taming clients and color-coding chaos. "You know this is a real company, right?" she says one night, gesturing at the whiteboard full of active projects. "You can stop acting like you're playing pretend in your mom's basement." I laugh, but there's a knot in my throat I can't quite name. Because in my head, I still hear Vanessa saying, "Your little projects are cute, babe, but they're not real security." We outgrow the laundromat space and move into an actual suite, small, but ours. Clients start referring other clients. Checks clear. I stop counting every dollar at the grocery store. And yet, on quiet nights, I find myself opening Vanessa's Instagram like a bad habit. Rooftop dinners, weekend trips, soft focus selfies in cars I could never afford. Underneath each post, comments about how she upgraded, how she manifested abundance. I close the app, ashamed. Why do I care? I'm building something solid. She bet on Flash. Our stories diverged. But when my phone lights up with her name one Tuesday morning, my stomach drops anyway. Mia glances at the screen. "You gonna answer that? Or chew it into plastic confetti?" I let it go to voicemail, pretending it's nothing. But that missed call is the first thread in a knot I don't know is already tightening. The chance encounter doesn't feel like chance. A week after the missed call, Vanessa shows up at our satellite co-working spot across town. It's the smaller office we keep for client meetings in the suburbs, neutral ground. I'm there alone, debugging a nightmare deployment, when I hear heels in the hallway. I look up, and she's in the doorway, framed by frosted glass and afternoon light, like some expensive apparition. "Wow," she says, sweeping her gaze over the room. "So this is where the magic happens." My brain short circuits. "How did you?" She lifts her phone. "You tagged the location on LinkedIn. Genius." "Relax. I was meeting someone downstairs, saw the name, and thought, why not say hi?" Her tone is breezy, but up close I see it. Faint smudges under her eyes, a tension around her mouth. The ring on her finger is bigger than the one I could afford, but it doesn't sit right on her hand, like it belongs to a different person. "How's everything?" "I manage." She shrugs, flipping her hair. "Busy. Tyler's deals are insane lately. We barely sleep. You know how it is when someone's actually in demand. The jab lands. I feel it, then let it pass. Business is good. I say evenly. We're growing. Keeping up with the work is the hard part. She gives me this almost pitying smile. That's cute, Brian. I'm glad you're comfortable. There it is again, that word. Comfortable. Not successful, not impressive. Comfortable, like I'm a dog with a nice yard. As she turns to leave, she hesitates. We should catch up properly sometime. Maybe see your office. The real one. Every instinct I have screams that she wants something. But the part of me that still wants her to finally see me whispers louder. I suggest coffee, thinking she'll blow it off. Instead, she texts back within minutes. Tomorrow? There's a place by the river. 11? When I walk in the next day, she's already there. Phone on the table, eyes scanning the room like she's expecting paparazzi. The barista knows her name. Of course. So, she says once we've gone through the small talk. What exactly do you do now? In normal people words. Harborline helps companies untangle their old systems. I say. We modernize their software so they stop losing money and data. She sips her latte. So, IT. I swallow a sigh. Sure. IT. She leans forward. Are you okay though? I mean, after everything. I heard you were still in that tiny place. I moved, I say. Office and apartment. Things have changed. Her eyebrows jump. Oh, big promotion from the laptop? Something in me snaps, not enough to lash out, but enough to stop letting her script the scene. I started my own firm 3 years ago, I say. We've got a team now. Downtown office. Couple big clients you'd recognize. She laughs, a little too loud. A downtown office? Stop. Like a WeWork? Like our own floor. I answer, feeling Mia's voice in my head telling me not to downplay it. You're welcome to visit if you don't believe me. Vanessa tilts her head, considering. Maybe I will. Tyler loves checking out new spaces. He's obsessed with design. Later that night, she texts, Tyler and I will swing by Friday before dinner. Impress us. I stare at the screen, heart pounding, every memory of her calling me small replaying in my head. And that's when I realize I've just invited my harshest critic onto my home turf. The week before Friday feels like prepping for a wedding and a firing squad at the same time. Stop rearranging the plants, Mia says, catching me hovering over the lobby for the third time. We are not auditioning for a magazine spread. I step back from the ficus. She's going to look for anything to mock. You know that, right? Mia folds her arms. Then don't give her what she wants. This place already speaks for itself. She's right. The office isn't huge, but it's clean, modern, alive. Glass walls, soft gray carpet, whiteboards covered in ideas. Our logo glows behind the reception desk. The conference room where Vanessa will stand already has the presentation screen queued with project timelines and client dashboards. Still, old insecurity buzzes under my skin. I hear Vanessa's voice from years ago. Babe, my family would die if they saw where we live. Back then, it was a decent apartment. Now I'm standing in a space their family lawyer once toured, completely unaware it belonged to me. You could cancel, Mia says gently. You don't owe her a tour of your progress report. I shake my head. This isn't about her. It's about me not hiding anymore. She studies me. Okay, then promise me something. No deals made on emotion. No favors just because she finally looks at you with those big eyes again. I snort. That phase is over. Trauma Brian says that, she says, but what about Friday Brian? Her joke lands too close. I walk through the office one more time, checking cables and chairs like it will protect me from old wounds. And as I lock up that night, it hits me that I've spent more time rehearsing my self-control than my success. Friday arrives with the kind of blue sky realtors love describing. My team filters out early, half from my request and half from their own curiosity about seeing the infamous ex-wife. Only Mia stays, insisting someone needs to witness the chaos with popcorn-level attention. At 4 on the dot, the elevator dings. The doors slide open like a movie reveal. Vanessa in a cream coat, Tyler in a navy suit that probably has its own publicist. Vanessa steps into the lobby, eyes sweeping over the space. The receptionist stands, greeting them by name. I prepped her. Client logos loop silently on the screen behind her. A hospital network, a logistics company, a regional bank. This is nice, Vanessa says slowly. Cuter than I imagined. Tyler gives a practiced half nod. Open concept. Natural light. Good vibe. Mia appears at my side like an anchor. Hi, I'm Mia, she says, hand extended. Partner and operations lead. Vanessa blinks. Partner. Can't run this ship alone, I say. Come on, I'll show you around. We walk past engineers absorbed in monitors, past the kitchen with half-empty donut boxes, past the wall where we pin thank you notes from clients. Tyler runs his hand along the glass. Not bad, man, he says. Still small, obviously, but up and coming. I open the door to the conference room and gesture them in. The glass wall bears our logo, and beneath it in small silver letters, Brian Cole. Vanessa's gaze lands there and sticks. You put your name on the wall, she says, voice light, eyes not. I shrug. Somebody had to sign the lease. Her smile twitches. Guess coffee shops and the cloud paid off more than I thought. For the first time, she doesn't sound like she believes her own script. And when she sits down, her hands clasp just a little too tightly in her lap. We settle around the table. I plug in my laptop, the screen flickering to life with our project dashboard. Numbers, timelines, client logos, nothing flashy, just proof. So, Vanessa says, crossing her legs, heel bouncing. Walk us through your empire. The word drips sarcasm, but Tyler leans forward, interest real. Money recognizes money, even if it's still covered in drywall dust. I click through slides. We started with mid-sized medical practices, upgrading their billing systems. Then Mr. Harris connected us to the logistics company. Now we're integrating for a few regional banks. Lots of compliance, lots of security. Very boring dinner conversation. Tyler whistles low. Banks, huh? That's some serious retainer action. Vanessa glances at him. Ty, you do deals twice that size in a weekend. He laughs, but it sounds forced. Sure, babe. I keep going, showing revenue growth over 3 years, the headcount chart, the reinvestment into the company. I don't say the numbers out loud. I let them sit there, black on white, undeniable. So you're comfortable, Vanessa says eventually, eyes studying the graph that looks a lot like a staircase. We're stable, I answer. That's the goal. No fancy leverage, no gambling, just slow, boring growth. Tyler shifts. Leverage isn't gambling if you know what you're doing. Mia raises an eyebrow. Tell that to half the guys Mr. Harris has evicted. Tyler flushes. Those guys were idiots. They overextended with no exit plan. Vanessa shoots him a sharp look, just for a second. It's quick, but I've been on the receiving end of that look. It means you're saying too much. Something in my chest clicks into place. Because in that tiny split second, I see the first clear crack in their perfect money mirage life. The universe must love timing, because that's when Mr. Harris himself strolls past the conference room. He spots us and doubles back, knocking lightly on the glass. Brian, got a second? Come in, I say, maybe a little too eagerly. Vanessa straightens as he enters, recognizing him from her family's events. Money circles are small. Didn't mean to interrupt, he says, then smiles at my guests. Just wanted to confirm the new rollout schedule. Thanks, thrilled, by the way. Still on track for the end of the quarter, I say. Mia's already bullied the devs into 3 backup plans. He chuckles. That's why we like partnering with Harborline. You two don't miss. He finally looks at Vanessa. I know you, don't I? Your parents are the Whitfields. Her composure snaps back into place. Yes, Mr. Harris. Good to see you. He nods politely, then turns back to me. Anyway, I won't keep you. Just wanted to say I'm glad we locked in the multi-year. My board sleeps better knowing you're on our side. Multi-year. Board. Partner. The words hang in the air, heavy and irrefutable. After he leaves, the room feels different. Vanessa's jaw is tight. Tyler is pretending not to do math in his head. So, I say lightly, that's one of the boring clients. Tyler clears his throat. We were just talking about some opportunities I'm working on too. Private equity stuff. Much higher upside. Mia smiles politely. Upside can be a nice word for risk sometimes. Vanessa ignores her, looking directly at me. You didn't mention you were partnering with people like Harris. You didn't ask, I say. In that moment, I see it. The realization dawning behind her eyes that she left before the story was finished. And suddenly, the girl who once told me I was dragging her down looks like the one who miscalculated the climb. After the tour, Mia remembers an urgent call and leaves us alone in the conference room. Tyler wanders off to take a phone call in the hallway, his voice too loud, words like margin call and bridge loan slipping through the glass. Vanessa waits until his footsteps fade, then exhales like she's been holding her breath since the elevator. Okay, she says. I'm just going to say this because dancing around it is stupid. Please do. I say, half expecting another backhanded compliment. She twists her ring. Things with Tyler are complicated right now. I lean back. Complicated how? Her laugh is brittle. The kind of complicated where the condo is technically in my name, but the mortgages are tied to his temporary lines of credit. The kind where he swore his latest deal would close last month, and it didn't. Twice. I blink. So you're leveraged. Personally. Congratulations, you learned a finance word. She snaps, then sighs. Sorry, I'm just freaked out. She looks up at me, and for the first time in years, I see the Vanessa from that pizza shop booth. Less polished, more human. What do you need from me? I ask slowly. She drops it like a bomb. I need you to help fix this. Tyler says if we could just show solid tech infrastructure and a consulting partner, the bank might extend the terms. If Harborline signed on as a strategic vendor, we could stabilize things. Or maybe you could co-sign something, just until the deal closes. My heartbeat spikes. You want me to put my name on debt tied to his business? Our business, she says quickly. Eventually. Look, Brian, you're not some broke coder anymore. You have leverage now. You have credibility. You could save us. I laugh quietly, not because it's funny, but because my nervous system can't decide what else to do. And when she leans closer and whispers, you owe me this after everything, a different kind of heat hits my veins. My first instinct is ugly. I want to say, I owe you. I want to list every time she called me dead weight. Every time she rolled her eyes at my late-night coding sessions. Every time she told her friends I was sweet, but not exactly ambitious. Instead, I say, I don't owe you a financial suicide note. Her eyes flash. So that's it. You'd rather watch me lose everything? You didn't lose everything, I say quietly. You traded me for a man who looks good in photos. That lands. Her shoulders slump, just a little. You have no idea what it's been like, she mutters. Tyler's stressed all the time. He drinks more. He snaps. My parents keep saying I chose this, so they won't help. You did choose this, I say, softer than I feel. But that doesn't mean you deserve to drown. She looks up, mascara already threatening to smear. Then help me. I have to think, I say, standing. I won't make a decision like this in front of you while you're panicking. She stands too, desperate. Brian, please. Remember who you were when you had nothing. That man wouldn't just walk away. I flinch. That man was invisible to you unless he was useful. Later that night, I sit with Mia in the darkened office, city lights painting our faces. She wants you to strap your company to a sinking yacht, Mia says flatly. That's not help. That's self-harm. I know, I say, but part of me still wants to be chosen. Just once. Mia nudges my shoulder. Choose yourself first. Start there. I stare at the empty conference room where Vanessa sat hours before, the ghost of her perfume still faint in the air. And I realize the real decision isn't about money. It's about finally ending the story I've been trapped inside for years. I ask her to meet again, this time in the lobby, not the conference room. Neutral ground, easier exit. Mia hovers near the front desk, pretending to mess with the printer, but really serving as moral support with a stapler. Vanessa arrives alone, no Tyler this time. Her makeup is heavier, like armor. So, she asks before we even sit, did you talk to your board, or whatever you have? Yeah, I say. I talked to my partner, and my accountant, and myself. And her voice cracks on the single syllable. I can't co-sign anything. I say, I won't put Harborline or my future on the line for someone else's gamble. She stiffens. So you're just going to watch me lose my home? I'm not walking you to foreclosure court. I say, I can refer you to a financial advisor I trust. I can pay for the first few sessions if that helps. But I'm not your parachute. Her nostrils flare. After everything I did for you, I made you presentable. I introduced you to people. You taught me exactly how I don't want to be treated. I interrupt. That counts for something. Heads are starting to turn. Two of my developers step out of an elevator and freeze, sensing drama. Mia inches closer, ready to intervene if this becomes a scene. You're still the same nobody, Vanessa spits. You just got lucky with one building and one old man's approval. Maybe, I say. But this nobody signs paychecks now. And I sleep at night. The doors open again and Tyler appears, flushed and annoyed. We done begging, Ness? He sneers. Guy clearly likes his little castle more than helping family. We're not family, I say calmly. Not anymore. They storm out together, anger snapping between them like static. My staff pretends not to watch, but I can see the questions in their eyes. And as the elevator swallows them, I feel something heavy I've carried since our wedding finally unlatch and fall away. That night, the office is quiet after everyone leaves. I stand by the window, looking down at the city Vanessa always said she owned more than I did. From up here, the same streets look different, less like a stage I was failing on, more like a map of places I've survived. Mia pops her head into my office. You okay? Yeah, I say, surprised to realize it's true. It's weird. I thought I'd feel guilty. And instead, she asks, sinking into the chair across from me. I feel clean, I say, like I finally stopped auditioning for a part one never wanted. She smiles. That's what boundaries feel like. Nausea with a hint of freedom. We lock up together. As we walk out, the Harborline logo glows behind us in the dark lobby. I remember the kid delivering pizzas, the husband who apologized for not earning enough, the newly divorced guy staring at his ex-wife's upgrade post at 2 a.m. Out on the sidewalk, the air is cool. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. It's a blurry photo of a for sale sign in front of a luxury condo building and 3 words, "Hope you're happy." I type back, then delete. There's nothing I can say that will rewrite the choices that brought her there or me here. Instead, I slip my phone back into my pocket and turn toward the diner where some of my team is waiting for late-night pancakes. If you're watching this wondering whether your worth is measured in square footage, cars, or someone else's last name, it isn't. It's measured in whether you can look at yourself after you stop chasing people who only loved your potential as long as it served them.